Live from Austin, Texas, with host Rosie Newberry. Local trends, shopping, and more. This is Studio 512.
The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Capital Chevrolet. Silverados, Corvettes, Trax, Equinox, Trailblazers, and more are sold at Capital Chevrolet. General Manager Abraham Garcia is here to tell us more about what's on offer at the dealership. And Abraham, if you would, my first question for you is just about Capital Chevy. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is y'all do here?
Absolutely. So Capital Chevrolet has been around since 1938. And we just serve the community. I know that they started off in Fifth Street originally. They moved on out here to the Motor Mile is what they call it, and it's an amazing place to be. I think the vibe, the energy here is amazing. We're thankful for all the customers that we've been able to sell for years, and it's just it's a staple town of Austin, and super proud to be here.
Absolutely, since 1938. I mean, you guys are have really been here a minute. A huge place as well. Wonderful opportunity to see lots of sparkly cars. Let's talk about you being here at the dealership, because actually it's just been about 6 months since you've come here and become general manager. Tell me about what you bring to the file.
It has. So I moved here from San Antonio, Texas, October of last year, and just be blessed, right? Just to be able to take over the store, and I bring a whole lot, right? I bring a whole lot of change. I believe that what I believe in the car business is this is a new change to me, taking over this store, and just like what I said earlier, what it means to Austin. But I bring a whole lot. I bring a lot of experience and the same energy and the same commitment to serving customers, and I think that's something that's very important in this business. That some people do lose along the way, just the importance of just taking care of people.
Absolutely. It's also leadership for your staff, who you are charged with taking great care of, and that's really important to you too.
It's very important. I believe the two things in the business world is growing and leading, right? Setting a good example for them and showing them and kind of just molding them to the vision that I see. I think the vision that I see is that I've always done, that I've always lived by, is be courteous to customers. Be considerate of people's times, and always doing it right the first time. And that's the three principles that I've always taken with this business.
So if someone is in the market for a new vehicle, what would you say to them?
Come see us. We are the #1 volume Chevy dealer here in South Texas, Austin, all the way down to the valley. And we're going to take care of you. If you've got a trade-in, bring it. We are tight on used car inventory too. And believe me when I tell you, we'll do anything possible to just get you in a vehicle and serve you.
Well, that is really wonderful that you put yourself out there like
Absolutely.
that. And I think I can see the leadership coming out. Abraham, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Ask for Abraham when you stop by in person on the Motor Mile, or visit them online at capitalchevy.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Capital Chevrolet. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Playwise Partners. Hey y'all, Easter is just around the corner, and if you're looking for some fun Easter basket ideas, toy expert Rachel Griffin is here to show us different theme baskets for creating exciting gifts that promise to make the holiday extra super special. So Rachel, first of all, good morning and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me. Yes, Easter is right around the corner, and I have some great basket alternatives. So instead of the sugar rush, we get the playtime rush.
Sounds good to me. Okay, the first set of toys you want to talk to us about is for all the little builders out there. We could even say kind of STEM oriented.
Yes, so the first one I have here is Magnetiles. And Magnetiles is the original building set. And what is so great about this line is this is the travel set. This is a 26-piece set of micro mags. And what's amazing about micro mags, number one, they are completely compatible with your regular Magnetile styles, but this is perfect for play on the go, because the tin itself that you can play with, which is perfect for backpacks, restaurant, the airport, the back of the car, you name it, is a great building base because it's metal, so the Magnetiles stick to it, but also it's great storage for when you have to get going. Also in that building category, we have Builder. This is a brand new building brick system from Jazzwares, and what I love about this is it is a combination of building bricks and Squishmallows, everybody's favorite thing. Everybody loves Squishmallows. So now you have it in a building block set. And what is really cool about this is it's got this cute little squishable belly inside from Squishmallows that makes it, it's called a squish brick. So it really builds that building brick play to life with your favorite characters. And what I have shown here, because it's baseball season, we have the Mallow Stadium. And then, of course, we have our little fun characters as well. So this is great. And these building sets are also compatible with all other bricks that are out there.
You actually told me I'm not as in tune with the kids as you are. WWE is a really big trend right now. Can you tell us a little bit about why and what the toys are you have for the WWE superfan?
Oh, yes. So WWE is huge. I mean, it's been huge for forever, but this year it's John Cena's last year. So he is out and about having a great time. And he just did what's called a heel turn. So he went from being a good guy to a bad guy. So what we have for you is the Rumble Champs. So these two are fighting puppets. They're handles that you can just bump, and then they pump their arms out, and they have noises and action noises, so you can fight with your little brother or sister, which is great. And the other cool item that we have here, this is the Splats heads. So these you can either throw on the ground, you can throw them against the wall, and they distort and change your favorite WWE character into a very funny looking face. It's really cool. And there's different sizes. There's this regular size, and then there's also the blind bags. And there's 6 different characters to collect of your favorite WWE characters.
I'm going to age myself, but it reminds me a little bit of Stretch Armstrong, so I'm really enjoying that toy. All right. Now, Easter baskets are usually filled with sweets, but if parents are looking for some candy alternatives, what do you have?
So that is the beauty. So speaking of an old Stretch Armstrong, we have the Crystal Gummy Bear. So this guy will stretch 3 times its size. It's perfect for, for those older kids, for teens, for tweens. And it is great because it's got these cute little gummy bears inside. It's very soft. It looks like a gummy bear, so we don't want you to eat it, but it is very cute and cuddly. And again, it stretches so large, 3 times the size, and it's just really fun tactile play.
Absolutely. Anything else?
Absolutely. We have Pretty Sweets because this is pretty sweet. This is a cute little doll and cupcake vending machine that kids can play with. So it's really cool. You can design and play your own cupcakes. You pop them in the vending machine and you push the button and out they will come. But what is also great about this is that the dolls are super cute, super fun, and their clothes are interchangeable.
Oh, sounds good to me. Okay, lots of great ideas today. Where can people go for more information?
PlayWisePartners.com.
Sounds good. All right, Rachel, thank you so much. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter.
Learn more about these toys and more at PlayWisePartners.com. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Playwise Partners. The following portion of Studio 512 is sponsored by Texas Wine Auction Foundation. Hey everybody, wine lovers, listen up. There is an upcoming event that you don't want to miss. Dave Bryant is joining us to tell us more about the event that he co-founded called the Texas Wine Auction Foundation, a very cool thing. Dave, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining us. And you were born and raised in Napa Valley, so you know wine inside and out.
I do.
Yeah, but you came here to Texas to put down some roots. What drew you to our wine growing area?
So Texas is it's an amazing wine growing area because you have such a giant state that you can really find any type of microclimate and great place to grow grapes anywhere in the state. But what drew us here is the opportunity out in Fredericksburg. Growing like crazy, and it kind of reminded me, my family, as Napa Valley in the 1980s or 90s.
Oh man, when I heard from my in-laws that it was free to go to tastings, and I've been to Napa Valley in the last couple of years, that's no longer the case.
Not free anymore. In fact, those were the good old days.
The good old days. Okay, talk to us about what the Texas Wine Auction Foundation supports, because it's actually 2 really cool different arms.
Yeah, it's an amazing organization that we co-founded a few years ago. We support sustainability within Texas wine industry. So we fund all kinds of cool things through the Texas A&M AgriLife Extension, as well as things like scholarships and fun things for kids to try and keep them in our industry. But the heart and soul really is all about mental health. Mm-hmm. So within Fredericksburg and Gillespie County and kind of the greater Hill Country area, we've worked really, really hard to kind of identify what the needs were. And so if you're a hospitality professional, you work in a vineyard or work at a winery or a hotel, you can come to us and we will help refer you out to agencies that we fund in part and in whole to help you with counseling and professional growth and all these cool things that I think really helps the people that end up helping you when you come out to visit Fredericksburg.
Wonderful. When I think about customer service, because I've had a lot of customer service jobs, I think about the fact that a smile cannot leave your face while you're on shift the entire time, and sometimes that can be really draining, even have a negative impact on your mental health. What are some of the services that you found that people are really needing?
So those mental health and the counseling services have been amazing. So we've funded and helped 300 individuals within our industry go and do these counseling services and gotten amazing feedback on helping them with their stress levels, helping them with their blood pressure, helping them deal with things that maybe aren't necessarily associated with the wine industry, but in other areas of their life to make them more fulfilled and more happy, and ultimately, hopefully, help them be better servers and winemakers and people out there growing grapes.
Absolutely, and better creative minds, because Fredericksburg, as you said, is still a growing area. My family just came in town. They could not believe how many wineries there are out there now. How have funds raised to date? And I'm going to say $750,000 in the last 3 years. Huge. Impacted the community. What do you feel like is the feedback there?
So we've deployed a lot of those funds, and we still have some in reserve that we're using for innovative things. Like our big announcement this year is we're funding actual counselors to go into the Fredericksburg ISD middle school and high schools.
Lovely.
So we'll pay for that in partnership with Create Healthy, which is Methodist Hospital in Fredericksburg. But we've been able to do all kinds of cool things. We're working on creating new American viticultural areas, which are really, really neat, and they kind of help to better define our industry from a grape growing standpoint. Sustainability projects through Texas A&M, doing research projects of how much water are we using, what's the soil types, how can we really try and make the best Texas wine possible, but also give it a sustainable future. And then, we've founded things like Grafted, which is a women's empowerment kind of group that we help fund, and it really helps kind of create paths and help women that are in the wine industry to become more prominent within the industry.
Because right now it is a minority, isn't it?
It is, but there's some phenomenal men, obviously, but there's so many amazing women, and the dirty little secret in the wine industry is that women actually have way more taste buds than men do. So this goes back to hunter-gatherer days, right? Guys were out there clubbing stuff. Women were tasting berries and making sure that they weren't poisonous.
Oh,
right?
my
So not
goodness.
only are they probably smarter than we are, they actually have more taste
We
buds,
are.
which makes
I'm sorry,
them.
we are.
But it makes them phenomenal winemakers, great tasters of wine, and with everything going on in Fredericksburg and all the parties and the bachelorettes, there's definitely lots of wine to drink.
Absolutely, good sommeliers. I love that. All right, talk to me about what's unique about your upcoming auction. There's a silent and a live version, but basically you want to take the stuffiness out of it.
Yeah, there's no pretentiousness in I think most of Texas wine. We've all been to, being in the wine industry, I've been to a bunch of wine events, and a lot of them are very snooty.
Noses
that's
in the
that's
air.
not at all what we're trying to do. We throw a party first. We want to have fun. Obviously, we want to raise as much money as possible, but we're using local chefs to create phenomenal meals. We have over 40 wineries involved this year, so you can come taste wines from 40 different wineries, which is tough to do in one place a lot of the time.
Sure is.
And we, the silent auction, I think we're at 80 or 90 items now. We'll have 15 live auction items, trips to other wine regions, crazy giant bottles, all kinds of really cool things that go to support our causes through the 501c3.
Where it's like a Jeroboam,
So-
the wine bottles get huge and then they get like king names.
Yeah, so we've actually started this year one. We do a 15 liter, right, which is like, it's a giant bottle of wine. And this year, I think we've got 19 different wineries that we blended their wine to go into one bottle. So it's an
cool.
incredibly special bottle. Our favorite sponsor has bought it 3 years in a row, and he's told us this year he's not going to do it. But I still am holding hope that I think he's going to make it happen.
Okay, and of course, KXAN's own Erica Brennis is going to be emceeing it, so we want to give a shout out to her. And then real quickly, just remind me, limited tickets, what's the date? We want people to get in.
Saturday, April 26th, in Fredericksburg at Archway Resort. Amazing spot. Again, limited tickets. We're down to I think 15 tickets left. So get your tickets now. If you can't join us in person, you can go to the TexasWineAuctionFoundation.com or TexasWineAuction.com to donate, to check out these silent auction items, as well as, give us a call when you're coming to Fredericksburg. Come hang out and have a good time.
Yeah, you guys are doing some really cool stuff for the ground and for the people too. All right, we really appreciate your time, Dave. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, get your tickets for the event now. As you heard, those tickets are running low. Head to TexasWineAuction.com to learn more. The preceding portion of Studio 512 was sponsored by Texas Wine Auction Foundation. Welcome back, everybody. Are you looking to support local and be more sustainable as we edge ever closer to Earth Day? Harper Sage has just opened at Parker and Scott, and Mallory Milan is joining us to tell us more, along with a friend of the show, Jess Hazley. We're happy to have them both. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much.
Good morning.
Good morning. All right, Mallory, we're coming to you first. Harper Sage, we featured on the show before because I was obsessed with the jumpsuits. Talk to us a little bit about what it is y'all do.
Yeah, absolutely. So Harper Sage is a conscious fashion a brand, and we are creating clothing for multifaceted women. So soft whimsy, bold spirit, and something that we're really proud about is that we're working with a woman-owned factory in India. And so all of our pieces, the founder Megs goes overseas, personally is picking out the fabric, touching it, making sure it's the highest quality natural fibers, picking out all of the pieces like this wooden button, the little flower buttons on my dress, and ensuring that the products are perfect for our people back here in the US.
And paying good wages along the way.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I think that the Harper/Sage is really cool because, to your point, it is kind of a duality.
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head. That's one of our words.
A couple of personalities going on.
It
Could
is.
you explain that real quick?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's where the soft whimsy and bold spirit come from. So Harper, typically as we're looking at our dresses, they're usually Harper, and this is our chestnut meadow dress. So this one is the soft whimsy side, but then as we look at our sage pieces that are more bold spirited, they're more for, bold adventures. Those are the kind of different personality sides, because individuals are multifaceted. They are not just, one side every day, even multiple times a day. They may be like, yep, a dress works for me today, and then I want to wear this button down tomorrow.
I don't want to quote Shrek this early in the morning, but people are onions, right?
Yes, they are.
We've got a lot of layers. We've got a lot of complexity.
Yes.
But the jumpsuit y'all are known for, and so talk to me a little bit about your spring drop.
Yeah, absolutely. So something that we're really proud about is that to help with our ensuring of not overproducing our clothing is we do small batches. And so these are some of our pieces in our spring drop. We make a finite quantity, and the jumpsuit that you're holding is one of our tried and true, but it's in a new shade, and that color is pesto.
Well, yes. I think if I were assigning color names, that's exactly what I would call it.
Color.
I love it.
Yes.
I love this green color.
Yes.
I think it's gorgeous. Okay. And I want to ask Jess, Parker and Scott is all about sustainability.
Yeah.
Come fill up, your laundry detergent in refillable jugs and that sort of thing.
Yes.
You guys are kind of a general store of sorts. Centered around sustainability. So why was Harper Sage a good fit?
Great question. We were fans of each other before we actually opened the shop. We have very similar ethos. I like to say we have the same customer, they just haven't met yet. So it just made sense to do something together and show our community that we are focused on community, making a better community.
Making a better community. I like that. Okay, Mallory, we've seen a couple of pieces here, but we haven't seen everything because you have a kids line launching just in time for Mother's Day.
We do. So that's the Harper Sage Little Whims line for kids that will be coming out very soon. So if you like the dress that I'm wearing, if you like pieces like this one I grabbed earlier, you can expect little separate sets for kids. And if you love that pesto jumpsuit,
I was about to say, am I
need
seeing
a
the
t-shirt.
same little pattern here?
I know, exactly. We've got lots of pieces, but
How sweet.
especially if you have one of our tried and true utility jumpsuits like you picked up earlier, you can expect a mini version for your little one.
Oh, how cute would those pictures be?
Yeah,
Okay.
mommy and me matching.
I love that. And Jess, actually, you're going to be doing something to help out.
Yes.
You're pairing the line that's coming out with curated items from the store.
Yeah, specially curated, eco-friendly kids toys, so that way when mom is shopping, the little one can have something to keep them busy.
Well, and speaking of, Easter's not far, and of course the Easter Bunny does the majority of the work. But if anybody's looking to fill maybe an Easter basket, can they stop by and do a little shopping with you?
Absolutely. We have sweet treats, we have all of the lovely little toys to fill the Easter basket, anything you would need, and books as well.
And books, and that you made that transition for me really easy because you've got an upcoming book event.
We do. I'm very excited about this one. This is the second time we're hosting this author. Her name's Brianna Wiest, and she is promoting her recent book, The Life That's Waiting. This will be hosted in our new space on this Thursday from 6 to 9. 6 to 9, and our friends at Burlap and Twine will be passing out mini bouquets as well. So it's going to be
sweet.
a giant love fest.
Oh, I like that. The Life That's Waiting. Can you talk to me? It sounds like it's maybe something I should read to improve my life.
Yes, absolutely. I think all of her books are really well written and focus on, it can meet you wherever you are in life. Specifically this one, it is stepping into the life that's waiting for you.
Oh, okay. I like the sound of that. All right. And so just with the little bit of time that we've got left, Jess, if somebody hasn't been to the store before, what can they expect when they walk through the doors?
Ooh, modern spin on a general store. We have a little bit of everything, anything you need from cleaning your house to cleaning your body to yummy, yummy snacks.
So many.
Yeah.
And do you need to have, started a sustainable lifestyle before you walk in?
No, we can help you get there, and it's small steps to make a bigger impact. It's really not a huge undertaking that you have to do, and we're here to guide you along the way.
Yeah. The guidance is really important,
Yes.
and her husband Ian helps out a lot. All right, and Mallory, just with the last few seconds we have here too, if somebody hasn't shopped Harper Sage before, what would you tell them about just giving you all a look, seeing what you have to offer, especially now that you've got a physical presence?
Yeah, absolutely. So having the flagship space on Burnett along with the Outpost with Parker and Scott, it really feels like you're walking into, hey, I want to be a part of the Harper Sage, ethos lifestyle with Parker and Scott. And so I think the fact that we've got accessories, we've got all of the wonderful gifts and snacks with Parker and Scott, it's great because you can come in, you can try on the clothes. We do free shipping and free returns because we have been an e-commerce online brand since the beginning. But being able to come in, feel the incredible fabrics, feel how lightweight and breathable it is, perfect for the Texas summers that are coming.
I'm so glad you said it. I'm so glad you said it.
It obviously makes such a difference, and we also do complimentary tailoring. So we want to make sure that these pieces are for you and they fit you.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
I never fit anything quite right, so I'm going to take y'all up on that.
Yes.
Thank you both so much for your time
Thank you
today.
very
All
much.
right, we appreciate it. Check out all upcoming events, y'all, products, and learn more by heading to parkerandscott.com. Welcome back, everyone. April is Parkinson's Awareness Month. Today we have Dr. Nina Mosier and Lauren Lewis from Power for Parkinson's to talk to us about their organization and how it supports our community. We're happy to have their time today. Y'all, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having us.
Good morning. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you. Okay, Dr. Mosier, we're going to start with you. You're a medical doctor, and you said some people may just want to know what Parkinson's is, a medical definition.
Yeah, well, I like to tell people what Parkinson's is because it's underdiagnosed. So many people have it for a long time before they're diagnosed. So there are many, many symptoms. It affects the whole body, but some of the important symptoms to recognize are tremor, slowness of movement, handwriting can get really small, people's voices get soft, there's constipation, and depression, anxiety, and many other symptoms that affect people with Parkinson's, but those are some of the top, and I think slowness of gait, just slowness of movement overall. So
what's somewhat tricky about that is, anxiety, depression, maybe you just have bad handwriting. Some of these things would be easy to kind of shove off for too long, and maybe a later diagnosis isn't going to work to your benefit, right?
exactly. So that's why we are really working to raise awareness so people understand what it is, that they go and get the care that they need. They talk to their doctors, they report the symptoms, and then they can go from there, hopefully being diagnosed earlier.
Absolutely. Give me a snapshot, if you wouldn't mind, of what Parkinson's looks like in America, because I was just asking you off camera. Diagnoses are increasing. We do have an aging population. So talk to me about what it looks like right now.
Okay, so right now there's estimated to be about 1 million people in the United States living with Parkinson's, 10 million people worldwide,
Wow.
and right here in Texas, about 72,000 people are living with Parkinson's.
Yeah, and once you get that diagnosis, I know how early it is, can really affect, especially if you start doing things to help yourself.
and we're going to talk about that in just a second. Might change things around, but my uncle lived with Parkinson's for 15 years, only just passed in the last 2. But it's not necessarily getting diagnosed means it's over tomorrow, right? You can still live a bit of a life with Parkinson's if you catch it early.
Absolutely. And that's exactly why Power for Parkinson's was founded. Power for Parkinson's is a nonprofit organization. We offer free exercise for people with Parkinson's and their caregivers. They can bring a family member. We have 9 locations in the Austin area, and exercise can transform the way people manage their disease. It's like medication for Parkinson's.
Absolutely. Okay, so Lauren, that comes to you, and I want to say Lauren's famous. She is seen globally because you guys broadcast through YouTube. Lots of wonderful workouts all over the world, but this is a grassroots, Austin-based nonprofit, so we want to make sure we give you guys a little love. Talk to us about some of the resources that you offer for exercise.
So we offer here in Austin 11 classes a week at 9 locations, to include a ping pong class, which is wonderful for people with Parkinson's, and a Spanish class. We also offer monthly events. So we include not just exercise, but we include socialization, which can be a huge problem for people with Parkinson's. And we offer monthly support groups.
Yeah.
Also, where we separate men, women, and caregivers.
Well, I'm so glad to hear that you are attending to the caregivers as well, because it is a life-changing diagnosis.
Yeah, it's not just the family, it's or the person, it's the family, their friends, their community.
Absolutely.
Everyone's affected.
Yeah. Okay. So talk to us. You do both the online and the in-person classes. You brought a little demo for us today of something. You actually told me it's kind of hard to get it right.
It is.
So this is how you know it's working with the brain, which is really great.
Okay, so we use a ball. The ball is not used for bouncing or as a ball would be. We use a lot of different props to help you see where you are in space, because spatial, your range of motion is very affected, can be affected by Parkinson's. So what we would start off with a pattern to work your brain and to work your mind. So we're looking for a full extension of that arm all the way out to the side, then bring it in, a full extension of your arm all the way up, then we'll go to the other side, full extension, and here's where the cognitive comes in, front. Okay, and once we learn that pattern, out, in, up, down, out, in, front, back. Once we learn that, then we go to the left side and we add the left side. Out, in, up, down, out, in, front, back. And then we put that together.
Oh my goodness.
And then it gets really fun, because then we add the opposite leg, and the opposite leg is important.
Oh my goodness.
Because Parkinson's affects people's ability to move contralaterally, using opposites. And if you're not using your right arm, left leg, and vice versa, when you're walking, then you're less balanced and you're taking shorter strides. So we would be going out, in, up, switch, out, in, front, back. And of course, and that's just one part. Then we would be doing much more leg and, addressing all these different symptoms of Parkinson's.
That is incredible. So it's symptom focused specifically for people with Parkinson's. I think that's absolutely incredible. We're actually out of time today, Dr. Mosier, so I want to ask, how can we support y'all?
Well, we're a nonprofit, so of course, we always are accepting donations, but we also need volunteers, and people can find us on our website at powerforparkinsons.org, and just to get involved, and also to just share awareness about Parkinson's. If there's someone you suspect,
absolutely
encourage them to get help and come visit us.
From the doctor. Okay, guys, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it. Try out their free online and in-person fitness classes today. Learn more at powerforparkinsons.org. Ever wondered what goes into creating your favorite comics and graphic novels? Award-winning documentary filmmaker, journalist, and storyteller Skye Wallen is joining us today to talk about his very cool upcoming release, Wolf's Edge. We're so excited to have him in studio. Good morning, Skye.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. And so the first thing I want to ask you, Skye, is about the origins of Wolf's Edge. This is a pretty cool story, and I want to hear your inspiration behind it.
Sure. I mean, honestly, the story came from 15 years ago when in film school, I created this character named Sam Wolf, this sort of folk hero of a magical forest. This boy jumps into this magical wood. And I made a series of short films with my little cousin at the time. He was 9 years old. And over about 10 years, we made many short films together as he grew up. And a couple of years ago, my story partner, producing partner, Gabor Harmat, he came to Austin, and I said, I want to reinvent this story, make it totally different. And so we kind of flipped it inside out, and we created Wolf's Edge, which, and then it became a graphic novel that we hope to turn into a movie one day.
Man, okay, exciting stuff. I do want to ask what a graphic novel is, just because you were able to give me like a really good parallel for everybody who maybe is not a graphic novel fan at home. We're trying to educate.
Sure, they're visual stories. So, I'd say all graphic novels are comics. Not all comics are graphic novels.
Gotcha.
In terms of like structure, like a typical comic might be 24 pages. They come out in different issues. Ours, we have a 3-issue story, and they're unconventional lengths. So the first issue is 28 pages. The second one is 36. The third one is 48.
Wow.
I think it's going to end up being, and we're going to combine all those into volume 1. So I'd say graphic novels are typically breaking structure. They're not as rigid in terms of page length.
Gotcha. Okay, so it's less about kind of like a turn and burn story style, and it ends at the end of the comic at about 27 odd pages.
Right.
This is more of an elongated story
Yeah.
form. Okay, very interesting to know. I know you can't tell us a ton about what the actual story is about, but if you could just give us a little bit of an idea.
For sure. The Wolf's Edge tells the story of Richard Kilbourne and his son Isaac. It's Isaac's 18th birthday. They live in Austin. We featured Austin in the first issue.
Cool.
And Richard is a famed author of the Sam Wolf series, and it's like a fantasy kid series. And his son hasn't read the book, and they go on this trip. The father's going to sell out to this movie mogul, Wanda Kinsey. And on the trip, as the father's kind of selling out his IP, they crash. And Isaac washes up on a deserted island with only the father's book that he's never read, and he basically becomes this sort of twisted version of his father's character, Sam Wolf.
Oh, fascinating. You were telling me kind of a meta idea, right?
Yeah.
His father's book kind of becomes his spiritual guide.
It does.
Along the way. So a lot of adventure to be had, which is pretty exciting.
Yeah.
I want to make sure that I ask about the process of creating a graphic novel, because you've actually brought bits and pieces of the entire story work here, which
That's
is so
true.
cool. You even have, like, guys, look at how thick this is. This is the script that you started with, right?
Yeah.
And then you worked hand in hand very closely with a friend who is an artist.
Yeah, so Gabor and I wrote this screenplay together. So this is kind of, just to give you an idea of how this process, so this is kind of what we ended up with. And then we found Artur Varai, who's an incredible artist, and he took the script and adapted it into visual images.
He is, I mean, I can't get over like the level of detail that I'm seeing in the eyes. There's a beach scene up here and running through the water. If you wouldn't mind turning just a little bit more.
Of course.
Of course.
This is
That
all
way people
hand-drawn.
can see. That's incredible.
No AI. And so this is just to kind of give you an example of before and after here. So
Here are the little eyes afterwards.
Yeah,
My goodness,
this is
once you
kinda
got color into
what
it.
we're doing. So Artur has just done such an incredible job, and
Wow.
these
And
are-
the amount of expression he's able to get out of some of these faces.
Right.
So that is really cool. And
Yeah.
I know you as the author wanted to have a ton of oversight of like, this was my dream. I need to see this come to life the right way.
For sure. I mean, I think the key in this, all these arts are collaborative mediums, and you just have to find the right people and let them fly.
Yeah.
Because making art in chains is no fun, and over micromanaging is also just doesn't. It makes it not fun. Like
Sure.
the work has to be fun because it bleeds onto the page.
Absolutely. So a lot of inspiration for our tour, and then he
Oh,
gets
yeah.
to run
Yeah,
with it.
right.
Okay, I wanted to ask about your Kickstarter because you've got one going,
Yep.
and you said actually kind of this is the way the comic book world is working right now. So can you educate us a little bit on that?
Yeah, I mean, the publishing industry, Diamond Comics is the biggest distributor. They just filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
It's a crazy time for traditional the comic industry. But Kickstarter has become a wonderful home for indie creators like ourselves, and we are able to directly interact with lovers of comics, lovers of graphic novels, lovers of stories, cool stories. And yeah, so basically right now you can essentially pre-order the books. And
So we're like kickstarting you by giving you money, but in return we get to be one of the first people, right, who get to have these graphic novels
absolutely,
in our
and
hands.
there's like special covers and stuff, like this plastic double cover, which is really fun. That's the limited edition.
This is super cool. Look at this.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And like this is paying for the printing, the artists, and allowing us to continue the work.
Yeah,
So-
it is. It's a lot of work, and
Yeah, it is.
I honor you for that.
It
Okay,
is.
you're also a filmmaker, as you were talking about with your cousin, which I think is so cool.
Yeah.
What are your hopes for the future of Wolf's Edge?
Well, we're really just focused on the Kickstarter, getting books into hands, getting reactions, interacting with the audience, and hopefully make this. I mean, we are making this into a feature film, so there's a lot of steps ahead of that. But the key is to grow an audience. So any support in that realm helps us to continue and grow,
Absolutely.
indie storytelling.
I think it's so huge, and we're supporting a local Austin artist, and Austin gets featured a little bit.
Yep.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's some skyline stuff. There's the bridge. There's Lady Bird.
Oh,
It's
very
all in there.
cool. Well, congratulations on everything you've achieved so far. I can't
you.
wait for Volume 2 to come
Yeah.
out. Thank you so much,
Appreciate
Sky.
it.
We
Thank you,
appreciate
Rosie.
it. Of
Thank you
course.
both.
Wolf's Edge just launched on Kickstarter at the start of April and is available there now until the end of the month.
But you can also follow along for updates and learn more. We want you to support them by heading to samwolf.net.
Content segments during Studio 512 were paid for by Capital Chevrolet, Playwise Partners, and Texas Wine Auction Foundation.